We can, we can, the script on that starts on page 2, it's all there. It's just out of order. So you can either print out the 3 pages where it's all in order, or I will help you renumber them in the correct order. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. So today we are going to talk about the journey of launching and creating a campaign and all that juicy stuff. This is kind of an opportunity where we can put it all together, okay? So there are some, a lot of, we've gone through a lot this week, right? And I don't know how much work you've been able to do for yourself and like really get some nitty gritty details figured out, or if you are still like, I don't know what my offer is going to be. I still need help. I need clarity. Wherever you're at, it's okay, right? It's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. That's the beauty of it, right? This can be, I didn't know my very first program that I ever launched when I was a photographer, I had no clue. I knew something was missing, but it wasn't until multiple days later that I had the epiphany, that I had the pop rock download to actually figure out what the hell is going on, right? So you don't have to have it all figured out right now, okay? But I want to give you the tools so that when you do figure that out, when you do have that epiphany, or you do have the recognition, the awareness that something is brewing, you have the tools, you have kind of the template to figure it all out. Because what tends to happen is that we get an idea, we don't know what to do with it, and we like to, maybe there's shiny object syndrome going on. Maybe it's maybe this new idea is a distraction from what you're already supposed to be working on. So there's all kinds of things that can happen. So wherever you are at, this will help you. When you get it all figured out, then you can come back to this workbook and fill out the information. You can come back and listen to the replays and kind of get in the moment and really get the explanation that you might be looking for in order to figure it all out. Okay. So, journey of launching. We've got some fill in the blanks here. We're going to go through very quickly what a launch from start to finish kind of looks like. Okay. So the first thing we do, we have to create a product. We have to have something to sell. What is that going to be? And I want to tell you this. A lot of times what happens is that we get very caught up in all the details, and we allow that to prevent us, that perfectionism, we allow that to prevent us from moving forward. All you need is an outline. You don't have to have all the content created yet. All you have to know is, this is the transformation that I want to help people achieve. This is the way that I think I can do it. Do I want to do it individually? Do I want to do it in a group? Do I want to do it in a mastermind, in a retreat, whatever that is? You just need to have the basic concept. Okay. All right. And we're going to talk about a little bit about that. So then the next part is creating an irresistible offer. So once you kind of have an idea of what it is that you want to do, how you want to deliver that, remember, we're going back to day 1 with all of our three bubbles, the who, the what, the how, right? That's all you really need to know. And then the most critical part of this is a beta test. So once you decide that you want to do this thing, this is a way for us to validate the idea. Because if we go to launch and we could not, if we're not listening and we're not paying attention to what our clients really want. So I'm just going to tell you guys this. I have beta tested this program since 2019. I've done it over and over and over again, fine tuning it, and then saying, I got it, right? I know exactly, I'm listening to the feedback. I'm deciding this is helpful. This is not helpful. I'm going to remove that part. This is not what people want. So I have fine tuned my programs because I'm constantly testing, and there's nothing wrong with doing it multiple times. Beta test, tweak, beta test, tweak, beta test, tweak. And you can get paid to beta test. That's the beauty of it, right? You don't have to do it all for free. Okay. Then you have to nurture your audience. So the people that you attract to you, they're coming into your life for a reason. Remember, we manifest the things that we need. You manifested me into your life. Your clients are going to manifest you into their life. So you need to nurture those relationships. And you get to decide what that looks like. There's a million ways to nurture an audience. Okay, so we listen, and then we tweak our offer. I have tweaked my offer multiple times because I wanted it to be exactly what my clients wanted. I listened. So we're going to nurture our audience, then we're going to tweak our offer. Then we can scale it. So I've done a lot of one-on-one coaching. Paige and I have done a lot of teaching and tutorials with the 8338 Collective. I've put in the time and the work and the energy to really figure out how to deliver and how to scale what it is that I am now going to talk about with you guys today. Okay. And once I scale it, then I can automate it. So it's not necessarily that I want to have a business on autopilot. That's really not what it is. The automation just comes by using technology in my favor. So instead of having to manually enter this information, manually do this and manually do that, figured out a way that I could make it all work together for me, and just, it's done. Auto magically is what I call it. Magic. It's auto magic, right? Just making it easy. It doesn't have to be hard. There are tools out there. Technology, we have been given this gift of technology. And although we may not like it sometimes and everything is moving so fast and these damn kids are always trying to change everything and new apps and new this, it's all designed to help us. So let's embrace the technology because it's not going away. It's not going away. And let's figure out how to use it to our benefit. How can we make it work for us, not against us? And then we build community. You have to have a community. Having a community has been so impactful. On our community, Marco Polo, one of our gals is just having a rough day, right? Her kids are sick all the time and she's just struggling, and she just gets on and talks and then comes back and says, thank you everybody for listening and just being supportive. People, that's what they really need. Kim, I saw your hand, hon.
Yeah, I'm off one.
Okay.
So after nurture your audience, I have scale it, automate it, and then another
tweak.
blank.
You missed tweak it. So nurture audience, tweak your offer, scale it, automate it, build a community. And then the next one is to position yourself as an expert. You have to show people that you are the solution. You have the magic formula that they need in order to stop having the pain, whether it's emotional or physical, in their life. So you position yourself as the expert. And then the last one is give massive value. So I'm going to give you guys a little hint here. Okay. So if you are interested in creating high ticket offers, and by high ticket, $1,000 or more. Typically, $6,000 is more, really the kind of that high ticket level right there. You have to, it's about value, not time. So you're not selling your time. Stop trying to sell your time. You do not work in corporate America. You're not getting paid hourly as an employee. So it's not about how much time am I spending with my clients. It's about the value that you are giving them, the perceived value. Everybody's perception is very different. So an example, some people really value Coach purses, and they will spend $1,000 on a purse. You better get out of here with that. That is not in my, I do not value Coach purses. So to me, I'm not willing to spend $1,000 on a purse. It's expensive because I don't value it. It's not something I don't care about. Right? There are people that specifically buy cars like BMWs or Mercedes or a Lexus or whatever, because they like how people perceive them by having this expensive car. That's important to them. They want people to believe that they're successful if they have this big fancy car or the super big expensive house, that it's the perception. People, so you can perceive value in items, you can perceive value in services, you can perceive value in a lot of different ways. Okay, so you have to stop worrying whether or not people think you are expensive, because that is a perception. And expensive does not mean bad. Expensive means quality. So if you are wanting to put yourself in a space where you can actually make a living, so yesterday we talked about the poverty line, we talked about our comfort zone, and we talked about how to move the line, right? In order to get out of our comfort zone and start to actually force ourselves into this next level of income. If that's what your goal is, you have to price yourself in a way that is actually going to help you get there. Remember, I mentioned yesterday that when my coach told me that it's easier to sell a $25,000 product than it is to sell a $250 product, I was like, what? But then you think about it. How many people do I have to talk to in order to sell a $250 product? And if I could talk to the same amount of people and sell a $25,000 product, holy crap. How many, right? If you do the math and you're like, damn, that's so much less work. So much less work. So some things that before we get started, I really want you to consider is that I need you to really dig a little deep into who you are as a person. And I really want you to ask yourself, who do you want to be? Who do you need to become in order to make this a reality for you? Who do you need to become? It took me doing my own internal work to figure out that I have gifts to share, that I love to teach, and that I love to give value, and I love to help people overcome all the things. It took me a long time to realize that that was okay, because I thought I had to, work a regular job, and that's not what I wanted to do. I'm a terrible employee, terrible. I want to do it my way. Don't you tell me what to do. Paige would say, that's your 3 showing. That's what she would tell me. My Enneagram 3 is showing. So when you manifest what you want into your life, and if you write down, I want you to write this down, write down a number. How much would you like to charge a client to work with you? Just write it down. Make sure it's realistic. Don't undervalue yourself, but push yourself a little out of your comfort zone. Maybe increase your current amount by 50%. Maybe increase it by 70, maybe increase it by 100%. I don't know. Does anyone want to share their number?
I would like to get $7,000 for a 6-month program.
Okay. And
One-on-one.
what are you currently charging?
Well, that's the problem. This is a new package.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm really reaching.
So how have you done the math to figure out, based on your income levels yesterday, have you figured out how many you would need to charge in order to, how many clients you would need in order to achieve that comfort zone level of income?
No, I didn't go through those numbers because this is me saying it out loud.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I thank you for trusting us. It makes me feel like we provided a safe space where you feel comfortable sharing. So thank you for sharing that. Anyone else want to share? All right, Anne, what's your magic number?
Well, I swore you were reading my mind yesterday because all the numbers you came up with were all the numbers I had come up with. And I go, she's reading my mind.
I love it.
But this is a first time thing for me. First time writing a book, first time trying to dive into the coaching business. I even want to do speaking eventually, whenever they open up the world again. So I have no idea where to start or how to price. I'm not even sure what everybody else is doing because I haven't quite got ready to do that kind of research yet. So
Okay.
I'm up to any suggestions.
Okay, so here's the thing. I just want you to remember, you're not them.
Right.
So you do not have to price yourself on what other people are doing or charging. It's based on the value that you give, not what other people are doing. Okay. So I don't want you to get into that comparisonitis where you start looking at what everyone else is doing and think that that's the only way. So I just want you to release that idea that it has to be what other people are doing. Okay.
Okay.
We'll figure it out, right? That's the beauty of it. You don't have to have it all figured out right now, but it's just being able to say, at some point, I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
It's a part of the process. Okay. Heike, what was yours?
Well, I'm currently charging around 2,000 for my half-day branding shoots, and I'm hoping to get up to 2.5 to 3. But what I'm realizing listening to you is, the whole value adding, and I've always been figuring out, like, how can I add more value to the actual package or the time? And there's things that I definitely need to tweak and include, but I'm realizing there's probably more to that, to also just have more value ahead of time, like before they even sign on, just in knowledge and things that I'm sharing with everyone, that is also part of the package, even though it's not exactly what they're signing on. That piece I've never connected.
Okay. So one thing that I wanted to say is that you don't have to add in more stuff in order to increase the value. Let me give you an example. Okay. So I am in a program. I'm grandfathered in at the price point that I got in at, and the new people going in are paying $2,500 a month. I'm not. I'm grandfathered when they were kind of just starting out and figuring out their bearings. And so I got in at a pretty good rate. And I'm like, why would I leave if I'm still getting this really good rate? Because they're ever evolving. And I love looking at their example and learning more. I love learning. I don't ever want to stop learning. But what they've done is they thought, let's give people more and it will increase the value of the program. Therefore, we can justify charging $2,500 a month. What they did, unreally knowingly, without really realizing, is what they did was they caused disconnect within their clients. They overwhelmed people with all the stuff. you can go to this class and you can do this class and there's this Zoom and there's that Zoom and there's this training and that training, and then an entire vault of replays. And you're just like, so guess what happens? A confused mind, an overwhelmed mind says, no, I'm out. So when I go to, if I log in and I go, no, I guess I'm not doing that today, because I need specifically tell me what I need versus me trying to figure it out and comb through everything. Like, it literally could be a full-time job to participate in their program. And so they have finally listened to the people and are like, okay, we're going to make some adjustments. Now we're going to have one training a week instead of 10. Like I said, full-time job. How are you supposed to get any work done if all you're doing is tuning into trainings? Too much. Overwhelmed, confused mind says no. So you don't have to add more stuff in order to give more value. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Kim, did you want to share?
Sure. So right now I have a $997 a month group coaching, group plan, and then $2,500 if they want to work with me one-on-one a month.
Okay. Okay. And is that in your comfort zone? Is that out of your comfort zone? Is that like the amount you want to make, or is that what you're currently doing?
So just starting out, so haven't launched, but I think it's within the comfort zone. The group part of it is definitely within the comfort zone and would be on a 12-month basis.
Okay.
Whereas the one-on-one, I would probably require, a 3 to 6 month commitment.
Okay. So, if I could give you a little nugget, I'm really feeling getting a little download here for you. I'm really feeling like in order to really give people true results, it has to be like more than just 2 months, right? Like really dive a little deeper.
Oh, I said 12.
Okay. So one-on-one for a year of coaching?
The group for a year.
Okay.
So, and then you had mentioned something yesterday about a mastermind. So I'm not sure how that, it might be kind of that as well.
Okay.
And then the one-on-one though, I was saying 3 to 6.
Okay.
But you're right.
But for $2,500 for 3 to 6 months, I feel like you could really increase that and stretch yourself out of your comfort zone. It's not about what you think you're worth. It's the value that you can deliver. How is their life going to change? Do your clients have clients?
Yes.
Okay. So there's some math work we can do in that later together if you want, but I just really want to challenge you to step out of that comfort zone because I feel like you're undervaluing yourself.
Okay.
Okay. Sue, did you want to share it all?
I have a lot of different programs.
Okay.
So I have a quick little thing that's $39. That's literally 5 minutes of my work, all the way up to a big one-on-one consulting that is $2,500.
Okay.
So that lasts, to be honest with you, I don't put a time frame on it because it's more results driven than time driven.
Yeah.
So right. So and I have all sorts of things in between depending on who it is that I'm working with. I do workshops for $67. I'm building my online program now that it's not the big program, but it's meant to be about a 3 on a 5 scale. And then I'm going to take pieces of that and make them like ones. And that's what I'm working on right now. So I have a lot of different options. I mean, it's just like, plus I'm hoping to build a membership for next year, but that's coming down the road. So yeah, I have a lot of it.
What would you like to make from each client?
Okay, so because I have a couple of different niches, okay, different kinds of clients, my very best client that I would like to make is $2,500.
Okay.
And that's that big program that I offer. And that's the entrepreneur, the small business owner that's, where we go soup to nuts and create everything.
Okay.
So that's what I would like to create, or that's what I would like to make.
Okay. Have you figured out your math to figure out how many you would need in order to get to your comfort level in your new income level?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The thing with one-on-one work, which is why I'm building my course, is that you can only do so many one-on-ones at a time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, my comfort level for the number is not as, let me rephrase that. I have my big number, but it's going to be bits and pieces of a number of different things put together. Okay. Like my online course. Okay. I want to get 20 people in my online course at $497. Okay. That's one piece. My individuals at the 2,500, I can really only work with 5 at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. Or even possibly 8, but then by 8, that's like the max.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that works.
Okay.
So yes, I've broken it down, and that's why I'm working on these smaller programs that I can do scale one to many, or one program to many people.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple things, not on the sheet. Manifesting, we had talked a little bit about, and I want to give you some tools that you can use when you are helping your clients. There are 3 things that are going to show up when people are manifesting a solution. So people say they think about what they want, right? They think about what they want. They have kind of an idea, they have a description, right? And then guess what happens? It shows up and it's inconvenient, it's uncomfortable, and it's expensive. And when it's one of those things, guess what they do? They ignore the thing that they have manifested in their life. They resist it because it's inconvenient, it's uncomfortable, and it's expensive. So as you are helping your clients, when you're like, okay, this person manifested me into their life, we're talking where they found me for some reason, you need to know that you are going to have to work through this with them. Okay. But I will tell you that once they push through it, guess what happens? Growth. Growth happens outside of our comfort zone. Growth does not happen inside the comfort zone. Nothing good happens there. It's just same old, right? When someone says, how are you doing? What are you up to today? And you know what I say? Same shit, different day. Right? I'm in my comfort zone every single day, and I have to intentionally seek out things that make me uncomfortable in order for me to find the growth that I want to do. In order for me to scale or grow or push myself, I have to find a new way. I have to intentionally seek out other information. I have to seek out other things. Otherwise, I'm just going to same shit, different day. And nothing grows there. I'm not growing in same shit, different day. Are you? Do you grow when you're in same shit, different day? Do you want to grow? Like, is that something that you are actively seeking? Is that you want growth? and you want to do things that scare you and you want to like actually push through the scary things that come up? Anyone here like, yes, they want to do that? Or are you just comfortable with same shit, different day? Like, that's okay. Okay, so let's talk about creating a campaign. So we always, it's the basics, right? We don't have to overcomplicate it. It's who, what, when, where, why, how. Like that is what you need to create some sort of campaign. You need to know who your audience is, who is it for, who is your offer for? Small business owners, moms, coaches, trauma survivors, whatever. Know who your audience is. And then what? What do you have to offer? What's the name of the program that you're going to put out there? When does it start? When can they start accessing this? And I want to tell you, remember, you don't have to have it all figured out before you can sell it. You can sell it in the future. You could say, starting next month, and then you can get all your shit figured out. You don't have to have it done before you can sell it. I really want to like make sure that you know that. It could also be a beta. You could say, I'm starting a beta. Would anyone like to help me with my beta? Where? Is this local? Is it virtual? Why? Why are you doing it? Why are you providing? Why is this solution why are you the pain and the solution, right? The why. And then the how. So we talked about, remember, steps 1 through 12, the pathway. Yours may not be 12 steps, but how are you going to get them from pain to solution? What is the process? What's the pathway? Okay, so remember, this is a tool that you can come back and use when you are ready. When you're like, all right, I got my shit figured out. I know what I'm going to do. And you can come back and fill this out. So the next part is going to be our sales script. And would you guys like to hear an example sales script before we go through it? Would that be helpful for you guys?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up a sales script that I put together for my Evolutionary Entrepreneurs program. And let me pull it up. It's in my Word. Okay, so I'm going to read this, and then you can kind of see how I put it together. Now, before I do that, I want to just let you know that if you have the printed out the original workbook, and you didn't print out the let me see, does everybody have the new workbook, or do you have the existing workbook and you want me to help you reorder?
Is the fillable PDF also updated?
No, because
Okay.
I literally figured it out 20 minutes before we got started. So I'm going to give you just the numbers.
Mine only printed out 3 new pages.
Correct. It's just literally, that's the only part of it that was wrong, is the sales script order. So the first page, where the first page that says creating your sales script, that page is all correct. Yay. But it's page 2 and 3 that are a little wonky. So Heike, on page 2, where it says, what if there was a way to achieve results without the pain? That's going to be number 6. So you have 1 through 5 is on page 1. Then the reason they fail is number 10, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All of that is correct, but we need 7, 8, 9, and then 15 on page 3. So my name is number 7. Here's how to get results is number 8. Maybe you've tried is number 9. And then the last box is number 15, which is the very, so you can see here, I don't know what I did. I don't know how that happened, but I'm glad that I caught it before we came live today. So I hope that helps, but the printed out one that I gave you, I will upload a fillable PDF for you, Heike, but I didn't have time to get it done. Okay, so I'm going to move over to the sales script so that you can hear. If you kind of follow along with the empty boxes, you'll kind of see how I fill them in. Okay. All right, so here we go. So my number one. Wouldn't it feel amazing to finally get your offer launched, to prove to yourself that you are smart enough and capable enough to get it done? If you were to DIY your launch, would it be easier to figure it out all on your own or get the step-by-step instructions and guidance from experienced coaches and trainers? After working with a variety of small business owners and coaches, I've learned they are all very overwhelmed with wearing all of the hats in their business and learning the various professional technology platforms required to have an organized, well-polished program. They want to hire the dream team to do it all for them, but they aren't quite ready for that big step yet. They feel like they want to do it themselves in order to save money. But here's what's really happening. You get overwhelmed looking at all of the details. You thought you could do it all on your own and worry that you will never get this offer launched if you keep procrastinating and keeping yourself occupied with busy work that isn't in alignment with your goals. If you don't get this offer organized and launched, the people who need your help will move on and find another solution. And I bet that perfectionism and analysis paralysis are living in your head rent-free right now. But what if there was a way to launch your offer slow and steady without the stress, overwhelm, or technology frustrations? What if you could get a step-by-step blueprint? What if you could get the support that you need? What if you are pretty tech savvy and want to get it launched on your own timetable? My name is Elaine Terso, and I am the Chief Visionary Partner at the Insource It Marketing Agency. I help coaches, consultants, and small business owners launch their offer slow and steady or with speed and ease, depending on how quickly they would like to launch, so that they can build a scalable offer that will help them make a big impact in the lives of their clients and their wallets. Here's how we get you results quickly. Step one is we complete an assessment, and we provide you with weekly live trainings that teach you how to implement what you have learned. We offer supportive strategy and accountability coaching for those who want to elevate their experience in our Evolutionary Entrepreneurs program. Maybe you have tried to launch your offer by yourself before, or maybe you have purchased $27 courses before. And the reason that they didn't work is that there is an abundance of tasks, platforms, and technology to learn to take this project on all by yourself. What you really need is help from expert specialists who have the knowledge you need to do it the easy way. How would you like to have an unfair advantage over your competition? Working with the evolutionary entrepreneurs will position you to look like an organized entrepreneur that will be noticeable to your colleagues. Your confidence in your business will skyrocket. You will avoid the stress and overwhelm that DIYing can sometimes cause. You can have step-by-step instructions to get everything set up on your own. And you will look like an organized rock star to your fellow industry colleagues and to your clients. I created the Speedy Launch System because I wanted to help eliminate overwhelm and provide our clients with a complete DIY option for those who can't afford or aren't ready yet for the dream team. Before Laura started working with me, she wanted to open up her own unschooling style of learning programs for children. She was overwhelmed with all of the things that needed to get done. Having help and getting step-by-step blueprints gave her the confidence to launch her very first program in 2020. If you want to launch your own signature offer, program, or service, and you would like to skip the overwhelm of trying to figure out all of the confusing platforms on your own, then simply commit to joining the Evolutionary Entrepreneurs program. We can't wait to help you launch your offer with either the slow and steady or the speed and ease approach. Whichever you decide, we got your back. So, did you see how that worked? Now, here's the beauty of this. This script, do you know what I can do with this? I can take all of these elements. They could all easily stand on their own. I can take parts of this language and I can add it to my website. Not the whole thing, because nobody wants to read a 2-page document on a website. Nobody wants that. But I can take snippets and clips from those and conveniently place them on social media posts. I can put them in an event that I want to do. You see what I'm saying? So I use this sales script to figure out the details of what I'm trying to do and who I'm trying to help. Does anyone have any questions or thoughts about that sales script?
I do.
Okay.
I liked what you did and I didn't count because I was listening, but how many times you referred to the DIY, and you actually use that term DIY, and so that people, you can DIY it or you do this. I mean, you referred at least, I'm going to guess 4 or 5 times during that to their struggles, but then how you were going to help them solve it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just, hey, a one spot. It just kind of kept going back to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that's brilliant.
It's been really helpful for me to have this step-by-step thing, right? So I created what I needed. And when I created what I needed, I was like, ooh, I bet you other people need this too. Right? Because that's how I am. I create what I need. And then I go, oh, I wonder if someone else needs that. And then I figure out how to teach it and how to help other people if they're struggling like I was. I always struggled with, what do I say? And my clients always struggle with, what do I say? How do I convey this thing? And so I'm like, let's put something together that actually makes sense, that it's like taking people through a journey, right? So what your homework will be, you're going to create a sales script and I want you to send it to me. Okay, that will be your homework assignment. And what I would also like you to do, because I am a firm believer in knowing where you are and where you want to go. So there are a couple of checklists on here. One of them is evaluate to elevate. So this is an opportunity for you to read through the statements and checkbox the things that apply to you. If the statement is true, check the box. That will help you figure out where you're shining, where things are going great. And then the next one says, I need help with. When you can say, this is not my zone of genius, guess what happens? All of a sudden, you can go, wow, I didn't realize that I could get help with that. Or I didn't know that there were trainings available that I could watch to actually help me be okay with having to do it. When we are DIYing it, we are wearing all of the hats. Trying to save all the money, and we're trying to, right? We have more time than we have funds in our bank account. And so we feel like DIYing it is the only way in order to get it all done. Or maybe you're a control freak like I am, and you can't imagine someone else helping you. So you feel like you have to do it all alone because you're a Virgo like I am. And it has to be done my way because no one else is going to do it as good as me. And you know what I've learned? Doing a lot of reading and a lot of research and a lot of self-reflection, that is a trauma response. Right? And now I'm like, oh, that's a trauma response. Okay. But just knowing that helps me have the awareness so then I can make better choices, right? That's just all it is. Having the awareness of, ooh, I'm in a trauma response right now. So while you guys are doing that, I just want to mention that we do have the Evolutionary Entrepreneurs program I want to just kind of give you guys a brief overview of what that is. And if you decide that you are interested and would like to talk more about it or whatever, I have three options. The first option is if you are impatient like I am, and you're like, I don't want to wait 6 months, 7 months to get this all done and learn all the things. I want a blueprint and I want to get launched right now. Then I have the speedy and easy option, which is a $5,000 investment, and that will give you everything you need. I will work with you and strategize with you and help you get everything you need. And you can launch in as easy as 14 days, or if you want to do it on your own and spread it out a little bit as you have time, you can do that. And then I have the slow and steady with support option, which is basically the 24-week tutorials. There'll be guest trainers. So I'm really excited to have some guests of our experts. Our dream team members will actually come in. They'll be teaching as well, the DIY option. And you can decide if you want to connect with them or hire them or whatever, totally fine. So getting support means that you will actually have accountability. You will be able to have coaching calls and strategy calls with me where I will help you like really figure out all of the details. And then you can use the trainings and the tutorials to teach you how to do the things that you want to do. So figuring out what platforms to use and all that kind of stuff. And that option is $750 a month. Very affordable compared to some of the other options that I provide. And then the just basic live trainings, 24 weeks, slow and steady approach. It doesn't have any coaching or anything. It's just basically you show up to the trainings or watch the replays and you kind of are doing it on your own, is $297 a month. Okay. And so you can, if you would like to talk about any of those options or would like to go ahead and get enrolled, you can go to either the insourceitmarketingagency.com and click on the DIY option, or you can go to the evolutionaryentrepreneurs.com and you can sign up there. So it's in both places. So does anyone want to, share some of their evaluation or some of the things that they need help with, just so you can kind of say it out loud and like, what do you have already going in your business? What's going well? Or what do you need help with?
I'm going to need help setting up the
Elaine,
automation. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Mary.
Well, I'm going to need help figuring out that onboarding and the automation.
Okay.
And I have been looking at Active Campaign and I will continue to look at it.
Were you able to dive in a little deeper to that yesterday after our chat?
I did dive in a little deeper, and I also reached out to, there's always a dot for that. So say who has who's a virtual assistant that has Active Campaign expertise, because I don't need anybody who just, oh yeah, I dabble in that. No, I need somebody that can walk me through the automation so that I can just once it's explained to me, it's just like, oh yeah, okay, I can handle that. But
yeah,
it's the frustration of stumbling through.
Right. Stumbling through is not progress. Yeah. Okay. Kim, what were you going to add?
Well, I was just going to mention, like, I feel like I'm on the forefront of having the support of putting some pieces together, but the launch part of it itself, I don't love. I'm allergic to technology.
I hear you, girl. I hear you.
So yeah, as soon as I am there, I like the dream team option.
Yeah, I get it, right? Being able to And the dream team, for those of you that don't know, is I have a team of experts that we will provide done for you services, and you can get launched in 30 days. And each expert basically takes their what they do really well and they go do it, and then it's done. And all you have to do is wake up and it's all done. It's like, amazing. Right. And so I know though that it is not typically affordable for the beginning or small business entrepreneur who is trying to figure out, they haven't really made a whole lot of money in their business yet. Right. And so I kind of calculated, like, for people to really afford the dream team, they need to be charging at least $4,000 to $6,000 for a program, at least, in order for them to, if we're following the rule of 51, right? Which is why I created the lower end packages for people that are not quite there where they feel comfortable charging $4,000 to $6,000 for a program, that they, Sue was saying, she has a whole variety. And so it would be, I don't want to say silly, but for her to go with the dream team when her highest package is $2,500 may not make the most sense, right? So it's really about figuring out which platform, which program is actually going to fit your needs the best. And it may not even be me, right? And that's okay too. But just knowing that I'm here to help or support you no matter where you're at. And so it can feel defeating sometimes, and, Anne, I hear you with what your struggle is right now, is that you're still in that process of even building a business, right? And so not even having clients yet can feel like, well, how am I going to get this done? Or how am I going to get that done? Right. And so the DIY version comes into play a lot when we don't have the financial resources that we need. And sometimes that means we have to YouTube stuff on our own and figure out how to do certain things, because you can learn anything you want to on YouTube. You can, honestly, including how to break the law. Right. But it really comes down to, if you get frustrated easily with trying to figure things out and you're like, in order to get a different result, we have to be willing to do something different. It means that we have to be willing to put ourselves in a position that terrifies us in order for us to actually finally get the results that we need and want. It means that we have to get more education. It means that we have to go through some other trainings. It means that we have to put ourselves in the best position to obtain the success that we're looking for. It's not going to come easily. It's not going to come overnight. It's not going to come like that. Nobody wakes up a cajillionaire, probably except for Jeff Bezos, right? Amazon dude. So does anyone else want to share? Because I'll keep rambling and you don't want that.
Actually, I do have domain names picked out for my book and business. So
Okay,
that part's done.
great.
And I'm already familiar with GoDaddy, where I have my domain names. So I think I'm going to go there. Even though my book has not been published yet, I think I can take pre-orders because I've been encouraged to do so. So I can start with that.
Yeah, taking pre-orders. I did that with my first book. And I also did pre-orders with my planner. So before I printed the planner, I took pre-orders so that I didn't wind up with a whole lot of inventory.
Can I just, Anne, did you buy your name as a domain?
I bought the title of my book, and then I did Ann Peters Coaching because I knew I wanted to be coaching.
Oh, okay.
So my
because,
name is in there at some point, and it'll probably
okay, so it is inside there some point. I just want to make sure that if people search and all they know is your name, that you're going to come up.
okay, yeah.
Is that sometimes something that people don't think about.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a lanetorso.com and probably, I don't know how many, I need to count how many domains. I come up with really creative names for stuff, and then I go by the domain name if it's available, because I may want to use it at some point.
Well, and then the misspelling of your name too, because I have mine misspelled a lot of ways too.
Oh, you do? Probably with the LE and the EL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Anyone else want to share? Totally open. All right.
I want to thank you. This has been fabulous. It's
Mhm.
really great information.
Oh, good. I'm really glad. Anything I can do to help, I'm just all about it, you know. So if I can make someone's life a little easier by giving them a little bit of help, you know, it's not the full meal of what I can teach, but it's a start, you know. I can't cover everything that I can teach in 5 days.
And a gold star for using the journalist questions.
Oh, yay! I got a gold star from Mary. Love it. So I am really appreciative of everyone showing up and participating. And remember, send me your homework assignment, even if you are not yet done. Even if you don't have an offer, it's okay. Let's make it up. But let's get into the practice of it. And if you send it to me, I have a gift for you. Just saying. Okay. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions, if you need any individual support, if you have any questions, literally just go ahead and send me a message and I will help you however I can. Okay. But this has been really fun. Thank you guys so much. I was really excited to get to teach this finally. Like, oh, I have all my, like, I've got my plan. Like I feel so like good about it. And I feel like I've tweaked so much that I feel like I've landed in the sweet spot. And it's very exciting. So thank you guys for being a part of it. It was so lovely to have familiar faces in my training. I was like, oh, I didn't have any strangers this time. I love it that it's all familiar faces. It makes me feel so good. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you more than you know.
Thanks, it was great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elaine.
Thank you.